Hi, I'm back. I want to touch base. Another video. Headed into the 5th day of homelessness. There is no. I know that I got a lot of comments about this on my various social media. Anyway, there is no availability at any shelters right now. So homeless, no shelter availability. Not here, not right now. As far as us traveling out of the area to try to find it, I probably could do it in my car, but there's issues with his car, and we're not sure if it would make it, or we're not sure if it would make it or it would break down, because there's been a lot of issues with that car. So I mean, you can drive it around town and it's okay, just a few miles a day, couple miles a day, but any more than that, who knows? We don't want to end up in a situation where it's broken down on the side of the road, and and it was in the shop once before, and they couldn't figure out what was causing some of the issues, where it would just die in the road after it gets to, anyway, they never were able to figure it out. But he's able to drive it around town. So it starts up fine. He's able to drive it around town. So that works for that. But and I have talked to him about this, because this is going to be a problem, because in January, there's no shelter availability here. Other places, in fact, I found out that in the area that we're in, because I do not have a local driver's license, because my driver's license is out on the Outer Banks of North Carolina, that I could not get into the shelter here in North Carolina anyway. So he could, because he does have a local address, but I don't have a local address here. Because of that, I can't get into the shelter. So there's, a lot. I know a lot of people have offered up some good suggestions and said, do this, do that, get into a shelter. And that's a good idea. But when I went to talk to these people, they told me that because, one, there's no availability right now. There's a wait list. And number two, because I don't have a local address or a local driver's license, there's nothing I can do. Would not be accepted to the shelter. Now, my ex, yes, he could be accepted to the shelter. And if things get really, really bad, he can do that. And in fact, that would probably be helpful for me, because my car is better than his car, and then I could leave and go to a warmer climate. Because it's going to be in the down in not even the 20s. It's going to be in the teens here in January. So if he could get into the shelter, that would be great. That would at least free it up, and I could leave the area at least for a while and go to Florida or someplace warmer, so that I could, not freeze to death, and not let my engine idle all night, because that is something that I will do. Not all night. I don't like to do that. But I don't want to be up and sleeping and having sleep during the day and try and figure it, because when I've traveled before and been in my car in the past, I do like a lot of people do, like a lot of YouTubers and a lot of people on my van groups and my homeless groups suggest, just follow the weather. If it's cold, go where it's warmer. If it's too hot, go where it's cooler. So that's me. That's what I do. But anyway, so that's where I'm at. But anyway, I can't get in the shelter here, so that's not an option for me. If he wants to go, to shelter, if he can get into the shelter when they have availability, that would definitely be a help. But there is no availability right now, and they have a wait list. So obviously it's wintertime. Of course, it's North Carolina. It's winter. It's going to get really cold. It's going to be down in the teens. Yeah, they're going to have a wait list. And I'm sorry to say this, but they look at it in a different terms. They look at, basically, when I called them and said, and I went down there and talked to them, they were basically like, you have a car. I mean, and that's how they look at it. They look at you and go, wait a minute, you have a car. I mean, there are people that don't have cars. They're sleeping in tents. In fact, we went yesterday to a church to eat, and there were two people there that said that someone, I guess they had a tent in the woods somewhere, because they're homeless, and someone went in their tent and stole everything, their blankets, their sleeping bags, their coats, everything they had. And so the homeless shelter here looks at it, the mission, they call it, they look at it and are like, okay, excuse me, you're in a better position than a lot of people are. There's a lot of people here that are, they're trying to sleep in a tent, or they're trying to sleep out in the woods, maybe don't even have a tent. You have a car, and that's how they look at it. They look at it as, if you have a vehicle, and I do, but his vehicle, I don't think his vehicle won't make it. I'm pretty positive that his vehicle would not make it. I mean, I usually go to, if I'm in this situation, and I just go to Florida. If I'm in my car, whatever, I go to Florida, but I don't think his vehicle would make it. And so that's a problem. And so, I just don't think it would. And we don't want to be stuck on the side of the road. That would be bad. That would be really bad. So anyway, but they don't see that. And, we're not the only people in need, everybody's in need. And this is a big homeless area. I mean, it's not as bad as Los Angeles or Seattle, but let me tell you, another 10 years, this place is going to be looking like a Seattle, because there is a lot of homeless here. I mean, it's bad. It's bad. There's a lot of homeless people here. A lot of people, and I mean homeless, like not living in cars, not living in vans, not living in RVs, not camping out on, in the forest somewhere. I'm talking trying to sleep in the woods, homeless. Not, some of these people may not even have tents. If they get a tent, they're probably doing good. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. I don't have a license here, and I have a car, and and that's stuff they look at. They're like, okay, you are in a better position than a lot of people because you have a car, and I do. He has a car, but not sure it's not that great. It is what it is. And it runs and it gets around town, but being able to take it further, down the road, we're going to try. We do have it scheduled to maybe go in. I want to see if there's something because he does know one of the battery terminals is broken, and we want to see if we can get that fixed. Maybe that will correct some of the issues. We don't know. And I just don't know, because the dealership never could, or the place he had it never could. He's had it to a couple different places, few places. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. Anyway, I don't know. It is what it is. I'll be back in another video, but headed into the 5th day of homelessness, and I just thought I'd follow up, because right now there's no shelter availability. I can't get into a shelter here, even if I wanted to, because I'm not a resident in this area. So just thought I'd come and share that. Anyway, I hope everyone has a good week. God bless. Peace.